I love trophy hunting, I love YouTube, so there's nothing I love more than the melding of those two things. Trophy tubing. So I reached out to a few of my favourite current content creators who I love and wanted to hang out with and work with and get to know more. And I had to ask them the most brutal question. What platinum nearly broke their love of trophy hunting? Here's what they had to say. So let's go. And there is only one place to start when I'm going to be talking about YouTubers that I like, because I have to start at home, right? And celebrate one of my fellow countrymen, a Welshman, who creates some absolutely stellar content. Someone who is knowledgeable, interesting, and very, very entertaining. I give you Lumdubz.
When Zack asked me to think of a game that nearly killed my love of trophy hunting, a few games instantly jumped into mind. But then I thought, how can I define an answer to the question? I came up with picking a game that made me think, why do I do this to myself? I beat the game, I don't need to get the platinum. This narrowed it down to two games, Crash 4 and Gran Turismo 7. And for this video, I'll talk about Crash 4, as this was the first of the two games to ever make me question trophy hunting. For anyone that has seen my trophy list, you may be wondering, how could Crash 4 nearly kill your love of trophy hunting, as you have the platinum for both PS4 and 5 versions of the game? So I will explain. I really enjoy the Crash games. Some of my earlier platinums are the first 3 games, and I have also got CTR as well. So I naively thought, well, if I can get the platinum those 4, surely Crash 4 can't be as hard for me as they all say. But I was so wrong. It is rated 9 out of 10 on PSNP, and I feel at the time it is worthy of its rating. The start of the game wasn't too difficult, as I just had to work my way through the games, beating each level, and I was still naive thinking, oh yeah, this is easy, I get this no problem. But then after beating the game, the real challenge began, going for the platinum relics and the insane relics. The platinum relics are time trials in the game for each level and were by far the hardest part of the platinum, and this is where the game was starting to slowly win the mental battle, and there was still plenty more left to do before I was anywhere near the platinum trophy. And I was starting to think, oh, throwing in the towel, but not just for this game, for any game, really asking, do I need the platinum? Do I really need to be trophy hunting? But I pushed on, and with a little bit of encouragement from my mates, even though one of the reasons they were probably doing it is to watch me suffer a bit more on stream, I eventually overcame the challenge and I became the hardest platinum I had earned at the time, and one of my most proudest platinums, and has since made me want to keep trying harder games to go for the platinum in them. So the game that nearly killed my love of trophy hunting instead changed it to now look for challenging games.
I love that. I love the fact that your low moment in trophy hunting becomes your inspiration. I feel that that is very similar to how I started out with God of War, accidentally setting it to "Give me God of War." What that was, like T-Rex. Wow. I absolutely love that a hard moment, a game that tested you and pushed you to the limit, became your motivation and became your inspiration of how you want to trophy hunt going forward. I love that. Thank you so much, Lumdubz. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of your wonderful content. Also has the very coolest avatar I've ever seen on YouTube.
Thanks for having me, Zack. For those of you that don't know me, I'm an Aussie that goes by LS Gaming, that earns trophies, I guess. So, the platinum trophy that almost made me give up trophy hunting was the Evil Within. But it wasn't just the platinum itself, but also the time restraint I had put on myself for a team Discord challenge. That, paired with platinuming Prototype just before doing the Evil Within on a time limit, just sort of wrecked me. The platinum for Evil Within isn't too long, but its grueling Akumu difficulty really is something to fear. Every enemy one-shots you, ammo is nowhere to be seen, and the AI partners, they're just useless. With the platinum being a 4.08% ultra rare platinum on PSNP at the time. You know why. But along with Akumu, you need to finish the game without upgrading any skills with green gel. Now, if you don't want to do like 6 playthroughs, you do this on Survivor, which is almost as bad as Akumu difficulty. Along with the miscellaneous kill trophies and the speedrun trophy, you really understand why this platinum is a 9 out of 10. The game is brilliant. I definitely recommend it to everyone for at least a single playthrough. But would I recommend going for the plat? Only if you're stupid as I am, and a lot of my friends are. To be honest, after we secured the victory and celebrated, trophy burnout hit me really hard. It's a real thing, I swear, ask any trophy hunter. I stopped trophy hunting for a couple of months. The Evil Within and Prototype back to back really took it out of me. I actually don't think it was ever about the actual platinum trophy itself, if I'm totally honest. But with the burnout hitting hard at the time, I didn't think I was ever going to go back to trophy hunting. And I know a couple of my teammates were the same. But after a few months of watching TV and playing random games without bothering about trophies, I finally got back into the world of trophy hunting, and so far I'm loving it.
Oh, I hear you on trophy hunting burnout, 100%, and yeah, I'm not surprised at all after doing Prototype and The Evil Within under time limits for a group challenge. That would test any trophy hunter's resilience to platinum burnout. I think if I tried either of those games, I would have gone bald, or balder. So, doing both, good for you, buddy. And horror games make me shit myself, so it's a really good job that Lucas is flying over from Australia right now to come and give me cuddles in bed as I have nightmares looking at this Evil Within footage just for this video. Now, I don't do group challenges as I am antisocial as fuck, and I really don't like external influences affecting my gameplay. I like to set my own challenges and not really compete against other people, but for those of you who do love a trophy challenge, the server I recommend the highest would be Vault Boy Steve's, and links for that can be found in his YouTube channel or Crimson Purgatory's YouTube channel, and he actually happens to run Steve's server, and he's brilliant at it. So brilliant, in fact, that I stole him and he runs my server too, along with wonderful TurtleBat and Sebi. Thank you boys so much, I literally couldn't do this without you.
The platinum that almost killed my love of platinum and trophy hunting, well, there's only one, and that is this one right here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Do you know why it almost killed my love of platinum hunting and trophy hunting? Because I had to carry Zack, yes, my brother from another mother, our beloved ZXL. I had to carry him through that game to that platinum, and my god, it was not easy. My back still hurts from the weight of carrying him through that platinum, so much so that I won't even discuss the bills with my local chiropractor. My god, it was a slog, ladies and gentlemen, it was a slog, and it almost killed me, but I did it. I got him through it. I got him the platinum. But yeah, that was a tough one. That was a real tough one, I'm not gonna lie. But would I do it again? Yeah, of course I would. I love the game. I love Zack. And, you know, it's Turtles. Of course I'm going to do it again.
Well, this is awkward, isn't it, Gary? I'll get that check over to you for your workman's comp and your medical expenses right away. But it is fair to say that Gary did carry me and, you know, two of our friends through the TMNT Shredder's Revenge. He went to such lengths that we played through 8 playthroughs together, he and I. He battered Shredder at the end of the game so that I could get the trophy for not taking any damage during the final boss fight, and he was so kind that he ended up leveling up the 2 DLC characters for me on his PS5 at home because I refused to buy the DLC after a bug tied them to the base game's no need for mutagen Goldie trophy. Thank you, bro, but as much as the Dark Shell Knight has every right to feel that he did carry us through that game and earn the TMNT Shredder's Revenge Platinum, I will say I believe that I have paid that debt, sir, as I helped you with Streets of Rage 4 not long ago. Streets of Rage 4, by the way, is an absolutely brilliant game, the perfect revival of the best 90s franchise, and a fantastic platinum. But the DLC is so addictive it will have your parents send you to rehab.
Hi, I'm Score, and the game that nearly killed my passion for trophy hunting was Dying Light 2. On paper, Dying Light 2 is a perfect game. It is open world, it is exploration, survival, parkour, crafting, survival, yes. So Dying Light 2 was a no-brainer because Dying Light 1 was the perfect game for me, and when I've played it at launch, the game was a buggy mess. Audio glitches prevented me from experiencing the story, and so I stopped playing, and around a half year later, 6 months later or so, I returned to the game and finished everything. Of course, I missed 2 or 3 collectibles in a 70+ hour open world game. That is a sin. Who makes this trophy list or this collectible missable in such a huge game? I think that's a crime. I want to lose myself in the world and not follow a guide for many hours in fear of missing a collectible. But I continued, I got all the trophies except for one. Ultra Marathon. After 2.5 playthroughs, roughly 150 hours of gameplay, I had to run in-game in circles for 50 hours with a rubber band to get this trophy. It was continuously in my head. I thought about it a lot. I played before work, I played late into the night just to get the stupid trophy, and I despised the game and the devs and the publisher for that, for including that trophy. That is a crime. And yes, it nearly killed my passion for trophy hunting.
I think Score at PlatinumVault is one of the most positive YouTubers out there in our community. Score is just a wonderful person and a fantastic and inspiring YouTuber. Now, I've never played Dying Light, and as I said to Lucas not long ago, I am not into horror games. They do make me poop the bed. But I admire the games, especially the hard ones like Evil Within 2, and I respect people that pop those platinums, so GG. GG. I'm with you 100% there, Score. I think that missable trophies are bad enough and shouldn't exist, but missable collectibles, especially in an open world game, are an absolute cardinal sin and should be illegal in every court on the planet. But that does make me wonder what sort of developer puts collectibles into an open world game and makes them missable. It really does. I wonder, did this developer have a really awful, horrific, scarring trophy hunting experience on the PS3 as a kid and just grow up bitter and angry, just resentful of trophy hunting and completionism in general, and vowed to make sure that every platinum they worked on became as hard and as brutal and made their players cry and sweat as much as possible? Or maybe they just didn't care. I don't know.
So Zack asked me here to answer a very simple question. What game have I played and trophy hunted that's made me nearly despise the hobby with a burning passion and want to quit it? Now, of course, he told me I only had 2 minutes to do this. I told him, you're giving me 3, and he just nodded and said, okay, yeah, I'll give you 3, because he knows I just talk. I'm already wasting that extra minute with this, as it was. But you're probably all thinking it's this horrible looking thing behind me of Monster Hunter World. No. I mean, that is horrible. It is horrendous, but it's not that. There's so many ways I could answer this question. Obviously, I could go back to my roots by talking about games like Dead Rising 2, where me and a friend sat our times boosting the game together, doing it in co-op, thinking that we would have a great time, only to find out that the multiplayer trophies and all the trophies only pop for the server host. So we had to play through the games twice just to get each other the story trophies, never mind anything else. Then there was also the horrendous port of it where it was continuously crashing all the fucking time. So we had to set up timers, not a fucking Fitbit, on our computers. We had to have strict timers to where we knew if we don't save in the next like 5 seconds, we're screwed, we're gonna lose a lot of progress. That was horrendous, and my god, I don't know why we did that. There could also be the likes of Battlefield Bad Company 1, where I had to spend months upon months upon months upon fucking months doing sessions at like 2 to 3 o'clock in the fucking morning on the weekends and during weekdays, doing boosting sessions online to get the 10,000 plus kills and the multiplayer trophies, because the servers were filled with lifers who hate trophy hunters, and my god, the servers were horrible to play in, and you had to have such a strict lobby of like 20 odd people or whatever it was, and there were strict rules, and oh my god, by the time you finally finished it, you were like, I have to go to work in about like 2 hours. I'm dead. I can't sleep anymore. I am exhausted. I do not miss that, and oh my lord, did it make me question why anyone enjoys boosting. This is why I kind of have a strict rule now. You work on my policy, not the other way around. I ain't doing that shit ever again. That was horrendous. But then there's also the likes of certain furry piece of shit that I love to hate. Fuck you, Trico. But no, it's not the Lost Guardian, and it's horrible AI, and it's horrendous trophy hunting experience that if anyone walks away from that saying that they enjoyed their entire time trophy hunting that, you're a goddamn liar, and I'm calling you out for it right here, right now. So you're probably sitting there thinking, all those games, what the hell does he hate so much? Out of all of these games, there has to be something even worse than the ones that he's mentioned. It's very simple, and if you've actually followed me on my channel, the game I'm mentioning actually has a dedicated video, and in the essence of time of not explaining why I hate this game so much, but also kind of love it. It's The Binding of Isaac. That game nearly made me quit trophy hunting more times than I can count. But I've obviously got the platinum now, but my god, did it test every patience and boundary that I had, along with all those other games. Now that I think about it, why the fuck do I do this hobby? It seems to cause me nothing but pain and misery. You know what, Zach, you've done me a favor. It's time to delete the account, fucking stop trophy hunting, and more importantly, delete Crimson Purgatory. Thanks, Zacky boy.
Monster Hunter World. I remember Faruski trying to encourage us all into joining him on that monstrosity of a game. That motherfucker of a platinum. Oof. Glad I avoided that one. Dead Rising 2 is a hell of a game though, I'm just saying. In fact, all the Dead Rising games are great, apart from maybe 4. 4 sucked. No, I like 4. 4's fun. I don't care. Last Guardian. Yeah, that game pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. I was in the opening area. You know where you're with the thing and you're just waking it up. And I hated it and stopped playing it after about 20 minutes and didn't pop a trophy, and I'm very glad I didn't. GG to you, sir. GG to you. I will say on The Binding of Isaac that not only is it a fucking awful game, not only is it fucking horribly hard, but Crimson's video is 10 times better than the game itself, so I definitely recommend watching the video over playing the game any day, and don't go for the platinum unless you are absolutely insane. What is ironic is I did give Crimson 3 minutes and he still used 5. What is hilarious is that everyone else managed to keep it within 2 minutes. That may have been more than 2 minutes, Crimson, but that was very, very worth it. Thank you so much. And to finish where we started, I'm going home to Wales. And another fantastic Welsh YouTuber who I absolutely love and who is pumping out consistent, high quality content for everybody. I give you PlatinumOpus.
In the early 2000s, me and my best friend used to play a game called Road Rash Jailbreak, a PS1 game released in the year 2000. The memories are still very vivid. Late night gaming at my nan's house, listening to Foo Fighters The One, slacking down on Monster Munch and Wagon Wheels, smacking each other with steel chains. So when we saw that there was a game called Road Rage for like £1 on the PS Store, we thought it could be a nice nostalgia trip, especially as we don't game together much anymore. 2 minutes in, and he dipped. It's barely a game. It's crazy to think that an actual studio made this. Me being a completionist, and not wanting this game to ruin the work I'd done fixing my completion percentage, pushed through to get the Platinum Trophy. I don't know how long it took, an hour felt like a month. I wouldn't wish this Platinum Trophy on my worst enemies. Team 6 Game Studios, go f*** yourself.
What an ending. I love that ending. So, number 1. Road Rash was the best game in the world on the Sega Mega Drive. It was an absolutely brilliant motorbike beat 'em up racing game. I loved it. I don't know how else to describe it. It was fantastic. However, they have returned to this idea of beating the shit out of your mates while riding a motorbike multiple times, and none of them have been good. It's as if it worked in that glorious 16-bit era, but does not transpire well to modern gaming at all. So, what a shame. What a real shame. So no, I will not be going for that platinum. Thank you for the warning, my friend. I will, however, be buying it on the Steam Deck, because it looks fun. A massive thank you to all of the incredible YouTubers who were kind enough to drop in today with a video for me to use and answering the question, what platinum trophy nearly broke your love of gaming? I really enjoy making these kind of videos. I made one recently on what my friends and family think of me being a trophy hunter. It didn't do too well, so hopefully this one will do a little bit better and I can do more stuff like this in future. Let me know what you think. I would like to talk to regular gamers and trophy hunters that aren't on YouTube and ask some real questions and get some real Q&As going, some really interesting videos going. So if there's any topics that you would like discussed, let me know in the comments. I'm Zach, this is XL. Be good to each other and yourselves. I love trophy hunting, I love YouTube, so there's nothing I love more than the melding of those two things. Trophy tubing. And the last 5 or 6 years have been blessed with an inundation of absolutely incredible YouTubers making absolutely stellar content, bringing joy and positivity to our wonderful community. I don't think this rise in trophy hunting content is purely because the community's got bigger, although it certainly has. I think that mostly this is down to the fact that the PS5 and the Xbox S and X both record gameplay directly to the console's hard drive, and you can upload that to literally anywhere you want. I normally upload trophy pops directly from my PlayStation to YouTube or to the app so I can do them later. It's so easy, it's so convenient. This reminds me an awful lot of what happened in cinema in the early 90s when video cameras became much more affordable very quickly. Because they were in so many homes, people started recording their own footage more and more frequently and started making their own micro, macro, no-budget movies. This led to some incredible changes in cinema, not only in the films that were being made, but how they were being bought, distributed and seen by viewers. It really did change everything, and the three filmmakers that boomed out of this in America, who all sold their films at Sundance and then became very, very successful, were Kevin Smith, Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. John Carpenter is probably the daddy of independent film from the 1970s onwards, but in the 90s the revolution came from Robert Rodriguez and Kevin Smith in particular. While Tarantino was in that circle, Tarantino had funding, the other two didn't. Desperado was a funded film, but it was made as a sequel/remake of Rodriguez's debut El Mariachi, which is just stellar. Stellar. It's a brilliant movie. And Kevin Smith, of course, made Clerks, in which he racked up a 24 grand debt on his credit cards and filmed overnights, at his job. The early 90s completely changed cinema, and that's why we have so many films now, because anyone can make a movie, and anyone can sell a movie and distribute it. Any movie can go up on Netflix or Prime or even YouTube. And that's the beauty of Gameplay Capture on the PS5, that it opens up the door to so many incredible people being able to make their own content. Many, many moons ago, a friend at film school told me that we were entering the age of a digital renaissance, and that YouTube would change how we watched TV and interpreted content going forward. And I scoffed and laughed, but he was absolutely right. Absolutely 100% correct. And that is where we're at now with trophy tubing content. We are at the point of renaissance where it is bursting, and the content is getting better and better and better. So I reached out to a few of my favourite current content creators who I love and wanted to hang out with and work with and get to know more. And I had to ask them the most brutal question. What platinum nearly broke their love of trophy hunting? Here's what they had to say. So let's go.